Ain't America Great Again, hosted by Kuada. Episode title, Make Me Chaste, but Not Yet. Welcome to Ain't America Great Again. I'm your host, Kuada. This is the show where faith, sex, culture, politics, hypocrisy, and real life collide. No fake outrage, no pretending, no polished church answers. Just uncomfortable conversations, hard truths, and the question nobody wants to ask out loud. What does it actually mean to live honestly in America right now? I'm Kuada. I am a former escort. I am currently a cam girl and adult entertainer. And I am also a woman still trying to understand God, freedom, dignity, truth, and faith in a country that sells sex, worships image, and judges everybody anyway. Today, I want to talk about Saint Augustine, because before Augustine became a saint, he was a man wrestling with his body, his desires, his ambition, and his soul. He once prayed, "Lord, make me chaste, but not yet." And honestly, that sounds more human than holy. That sounds like somebody who wanted God, but also wanted pleasure. Somebody who wanted salvation, but not before one more night, one more touch, one more taste of the life he was not ready to leave. And maybe that is why Augustine still matters. Because a lot of people know what it feels like to be divided. The body wants one thing, the spirit wants another, the world rewards one thing, faith asks for another. And somewhere in that tension, a real spiritual life begins. Saint Augustine was born in the year 354 in North Africa, in what is now Algeria. He lived during the late Roman Empire, a time when Christianity was becoming more powerful, but Roman culture, philosophy, politics, class, and pleasure still shaped everyday life. Augustine was not born a saint. He was brilliant, he was ambitious, he was emotional, he was sensual, he was complicated. He studied rhetoric, which means he studied the art of language, persuasion, and public speaking. In modern terms, Augustine knew how to talk, he knew how to argue, he knew how to perform intelligence, he wanted success, he wanted status, he wanted women, he wanted truth too, but truth had competition. That is what makes him interesting. Augustine was not some man who never struggled and then wrote rules for people who did. He struggled first. He had a long relationship with a woman whose name history does not even preserve. That detail bothers me. We know Augustine's name. We know his mother's name. We know his son's name. But the woman he loved, lived with, slept with, and had a child with, history leaves her unnamed. That says something too, because women's bodies have always been part of men's stories, but women's names have not always been protected. Augustine and this woman had a son named Adeodatus. Augustine loved his son deeply, but he did not marry the mother of his child. Part of that had to do with Roman class expectations. Part of it had to do with ambition. Part of it had to do with the world Augustine lived in. Still, the result was painful. A woman gave him years of her life and a child, and then she disappears from the story while he becomes one of the greatest theologians in Christian history. His story has shadows. Eventually, Augustine's search for truth led him through different philosophies and religions. He was influenced by Manichaeism. He was interested in power, pleasure, but none of it gave him peace. His mother, Monica, was a Christian woman who prayed for him for years. Monica wanted her son to come to God, and Augustine did eventually convert. His conversion happened in Milan. Augustine describes a famous moment when he heard a childlike voice saying, "Take and read." He picked up scripture and read a passage that changed his life. Augustine became a Christian, then he became a priest, then he became Bishop of Hippo. Then he became one of the most important Christian thinkers who ever lived. But here is the part that matters to me. Augustine's conversion did not erase his sexual past. His sexual past became part of his testimony. His weakness became part of his witness. He did not write about desire as an outsider. He wrote about desire as someone who had been mastered by it. Augustine believed that human desire had become disordered by sin. He believed sex was created by God, but that lust had twisted it. He believed sex belonged within marriage. He believed the body was not evil, but that the human will was wounded. That is an important difference. Augustine was not simply saying the body is bad. He was saying the body is powerful and the will does not always know how to govern it. For Augustine, the real issue was love. What do we love? How do we love? And what do we love most? He believed sin happens when love gets out of order, when we love pleasure more than God, when we love attention more than truth. Whether you are religious or not, you can probably understand what it feels like to love something that is not loving you back. You can want attention and still feel empty. You can be desired and still feel unseen. What is your soul worth? As Katie Kuada, I am a former escort. I am currently a cam girl. I am an adult entertainer. That means my sexuality is not just private, it is work, it is performance, it is business, it is survival, it is power. America is strange about sex. America sells sex everywhere. In music, in movies, in advertising, in fashion, in politics, in celebrity culture, in social media. Sex is used to sell everything. But let a woman say, I know my body has value, and suddenly everybody becomes a theologian. Everybody has a Bible verse. People panic when a woman owns her sexuality and speaks honestly about it. Shame does not always make people holy. Sometimes shame makes people hide. Sometimes shame makes people lie. Sometimes it makes people think God only wants the cleaned up version of them. Augustine was not ready. That is why, Lord, make me chaste, but not yet matters. It is funny, but it is also painful, because many people have prayed some version of that prayer. Lord, heal me, but not yet. Lord, change me, but not yet. Lord, free me, but not yet. We want transformation, but we are attached to what transformation might cost us. Augustine convicts me. Keeping the faith means telling the truth in front of God. It means being brave enough to ask, what is this doing to my soul? Is this making me more whole, more free? Can holiness begin before a person has everything figured out? I believe the answer is yes. God has always met people in complicated places, at wells, in deserts, in bedrooms, in failure, in shame, in truth. Faith does not begin when your life becomes presentable. Faith begins when you stop lying. That is why I think Augustine and I belong in the same conversation. Both of us understand the ache of being human. Adult entertainers do not create America's obsession with sex. We reveal it. We show the appetite that polite society pretends it does not have. And that is why people get angry, sometimes because we are telling the truth too openly. A shallow faith says, good people here, bad people there. But a deeper faith says, the line runs through every human heart. The saint and the sinner live closer together than we want to admit. You have made us for yourself, O Lord, and our heart is restless until it rests in you. Restless means moving but not arriving, searching but not satisfied, wanting but not fulfilled. That is the human story. I want to take my own soul seriously too. Not as a brand, not as a body, not as a fantasy, as a soul in progress, a soul that still believes God can meet people in complicated places. So maybe the prayer is no longer, Lord, make me chaste, but not yet. Maybe the prayer is, Lord, make me truthful, make me whole, teach me what freedom really is, and do not let shame speak louder than you. That's today's episode of Ain't America Great Again? I'm Katie Kuada. Tell the truth, question everything, and keep the faith if you can. Until next time.